Watch this. I need to demonstrate. Okay, which one you want? Picky, picky, picky. 1, 2, go get it! Now I'm gonna break down. I had someone asking me how to actually jump through from handstand. Now I don't have to say it that you should be able to do a handstand first if you want to try to jump through with your legs straight. And you should be able to have a little stable handstand and a little stronger upper body strength in order to do that. I'm gonna modify and break down a couple of variations and different things that you can work on to work your way towards it. Now it's basically similar as jumping through from downward dog with legs straight. So it's same as doing this one here. The vinyasa that we use a lot in the Ashtanga yoga. And then there is pick up. And we go through that every time in the Ashtanga practice. But basically, in order to jump through from handstand, just try to work your way from downward dog first. So, and feel free, up, 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 up. Yoshi, please, like that. So, in order to do this, with legs straight, you can practice at the beginning to just cross your shins and try to jump through like that. And play with this variation. I'll demonstrate facing the arm. And back. Now, if you have 2 blocks, or you can use 2 books that are the same height, it does come really, really handy because it will give you a little bit more height. So once you start to even, before you go into a transition, make sure with your arms, go get it. I'm gonna have to lock you in the other room if you're gonna be trouble. So, with your palms, before we even start to transition, notice what often happens here with the shoulders. We usually allow the energy to collapse down. So make sure that you're pushing the floor away. Grow taller, lengthen, press with the thumb and the index finger down into the ground. So before even, same thing you would do if you're biking up into a handstand, you wanna really from here, don't let the energy sink, push, push. Imagine you have 2 magnets between your elbows and they're working towards one another. Firmly push the floor down with the thumb and the index finger, so think of growing taller through the inner arms. Try to lift the forearm off the wrist to lighten up the weights on your wrist and make sure that you're distributing the weight into the base of each finger and pressing firmly down with all 10 fingers. Now, the shoulder blades will protract, so move away from one another. So before you even come up, push, 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 lengthen. And from here, you can start to find a little bit more height. In order to come up, so you got the idea. But what often happens here, we allow the shoulders to collapse down. So make sure that you're resisting the floor away. Again, using the blocks at the beginning, it comes really handy because it gives you that little elevation, so it makes it easier actually to sneak your legs through. So from here, if you have the palms elevated, high on top of the tippy toes, again, practice crossing the shins. Try to swing a little bit. And do that a few times. Once you're comfortable with that, again, think if you're trying to go through with your legs straight. You want to get the hips up and over the shoulders in order to sneak the legs through. So lifting the hips up and then through. And often, I'm going to show this side of you. Often what happens here when people try to jump through with legs straight, they go high on top of the tippy toes. They're scared to go over if they can't do a handstand. So from here they go and they get stuck. They keep hitting the ground. So watch my hips. You want to get the hips up and over the shoulders. So go up and then through. So the hips move up and then through. in order to sneak your legs through with straight knees, basically. Two more other options here to play with. If you have the two blocks, sideways might work better here. If you start with hands like this onto the blocks, press the blocks down into the ground, push the floor away, lengthen, scoop the core in, and then from here, just start to practice with one leg at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, pause. And then from here, start to play with trying to touch the wrist. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then as that gets easier, you can try to climb one foot on top of one wrist and then climb the opposite. From here, try to push up, up, and hop it down. As that as well becomes easier, and the only reason you're using the blocks at the beginning to give you a little bit more height to jump through. But honestly, if I can sneak my legs through, basically anyone can do it. Because often I hear the excuse that the arms are too short, so I can't do it. It has nothing to do with the length of the arms. It really has to do with how much you're scooping the core in and lifting the pelvis floor, the bandhas up. So think the sitting bones, the pubic bone and the tailbone is scooping in and up. The whole abdomen is moving in and up, and that gives you the space to sneak basically the legs through when you're trying to do the jump through with legs straight without using the blocks. So arms are active, push the floor away, high on top of the tippy toes, get the hips up and over the shoulders, and then sneak it through and slowly down. Another little approach in here. I'm gonna break it down. And how you can work it. I'll turn around in here. Oops. Even if you don't have the Dharma wheel, actually I'll move it here close. If you don't have the Dharma wheel, don't worry about it at all. You can just push the back of the head into the sofa, into the wall, or use a bolster. So it absolutely doesn't matter. You don't really specifically need the Dharma wheel, but it does come handy. And I'll demonstrate with using just the sofa. Here. You're gonna press the hands flat down. Again, if this is still challenging, feel free to elevate the hands with the blocks. Same idea. Push the floor away, push, push, push. Now you can use the top of the head a little bit to support it onto the Dharma wheel and to resist. Now as you scoop in, just watch the hips, scoop the core in, and just play here with a little tapping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're feeling strong, feel free to go all the way up. And then slowly with control, bring it all the way down. Try to sneak the feet through. Back up we go. And then slowly start to sneak it through. Doop, doop, doop. Back up we go. Again, hover a little bit and release the feet basically down. So the whole idea is you don't have to do as many. Just try to practice one at a time, even if you just do this. Tap it, tap it, tap it. As I said, you don't need the Dharma wheel at all. So no excuses. If you don't have it, you can use just the back of the sofa, or the back of the head can push a little bit into the wall. If you have a really sensitive skull, which is not my case, you can, sorry, use a little pillow against the wall, or use a little blanket to push it in the back of the head so it doesn't get too harsh. Same idea, hands flat. You're gonna try to push like this the back of the head into the wall, sofa, or whatever you're using. Again, notice you're not trying to draw the chest forward because we're not going into Scorpio. You're doing exactly the opposite. Scoop it in. So from here, scoop it in. Push, push, activate the palms. Press the thumbs and the index finger down like crazy. And then scoop it here. Maybe play 1 foot, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a little break. And then when you're ready, you're gonna go a little bit further. Tap the wrist, tap the wrist, tap, tap, Tap if that's comfortable. Tap with both. Down. Tap. Tap. Up. Tap. Up. And take a little break. You can always stretch the wrist a little bit if you feel a little strain. And once you're ready, you're gonna maybe try to go all the way up from here. Climbing your toes up and maybe go all the way up. Down, down, up. Slowly down. Up. And if you're practicing jumping through, maybe bringing the feet together. And in. Then again, try from here. Scoop it up, 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 up. And then slowly. And down. So getting a little sweaty. Get this part of the mat. I didn't put my sweat yet. I built sweat through my palms. Again. And now I'm going to show some little easier variations that you can do using the mat, and probably socks will be handy. I think I did break down something similar like this in the jump through videos, in my Ashtanga kind of videos on YouTube, but it doesn't hurt to bring it up again in here. My block here. Here's the mat. This one. Up. Well. The challenge is here. I'm using my block to support my phone. So now we gotta change this plan here. Up. See me here. Bingo. Have the two blocks. And you can use socks, and you can use just a little blanket or a towel, whatever you have handy, and that it's slippery. So, on the first part, before it collapses, hands will go on the block and place the blocks pretty much between your knees and your hips, so not too far back, rather a little bit more to the front. First part of the practice, you're gonna literally just try to press the hands down, lift the butt off the ground. Down, push up, down, push up, down. Now another thing, notice when I come up, scoop, lift the Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha engaging. So scoop the pelvis floor in and up, and on your exhale, as you feel the lower abdomen drawing in and up, hold it there. From here, up, scoop, 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 scoop more, and slowly down. Push. Now use the core, scoop the abdomen. Slowly down. Up. Scoop, scoop, scoop. And slowly down. Yeah, take a little break if you need to stretch the wrist. Then if that gets easy, which it will with consistency and repetition, you're gonna start to add a tiny bit more heat by lifting one leg at a time. So as we scoop up, scoop. Take the right foot on top of the left. 3, 2, 1. Maybe switch. 3, 2, 1, and slowly down. Again, once you're ready, push, lift, maybe just the right. 3, 2, 1, switch. 3, 2, 1, and slowly down. Breathe in, breathe out. And then maybe you try to lift both legs off the ground, but again, no attachment to that, and I will show a different variation using the sofa and doing that. So from here, keep pushing, keep scooping. 3, 2, 1, and slowly down. Now, I don't know why I hate putting my butt on the ground, but I will, because I'm planning to take a shower immediately anyway. Yeah. I've been moving you guys around today. see the sofa. Same approach in here. Push the blocks down, scoop, lift, and then take one foot on top. 3, 2, 1, switch. 3, 2, 1, switch. If you're comfortable, up, both. 3, 2, 1, and here notice the gravity wants to take the butt down and the shoulders want to sink. Push, 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 activate the hands. Shoulder blades move away from one another, and then slowly scoop it, scoop it, scoop it, and come down. You can even start with your feet up already. Breathe in, it makes it a little bit harder to come up. Breathe out and practice here. Up, up, up. Slowly down. Then another little fun one. I'll do it here. So we're just gonna try to slide the feet in and through from downward dog. So from this position, find your downward dog, and from here, slide your feet in, and scoop it up. Slide your feet in, and scoop it back. Again. So hips stay up, 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 and over. Scoop, 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 scoop. Through, and back. Up. Scoop, 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 scoop. Now, I'm going on my toes, making it a tiny bit harder, but again, just stick to having your heels flat down on the ground. And this is where you'll feel that work of scooping the core, lift the bundles, and hollow the lower belly in order to sneak the legs through with legs straight. And don't get attached to doing it immediately with your legs straight. It does take work. For some people, it took a decade. So there's nothing that happens overnight. Not even a good night of sleep. If you haven't slept for a few nights, one night will not fix it. So consistency, repetition, and just do something zillion times. And you will be able to do it. So at the beginning, if it's hard, go where you can. If it gets challenging, here, bend your knees, bend the knees, scoop it through, and again, bring it back. Slide it where you can, micro bend the knees, scoop through, and back. Till it gets easier, and you'll be able to slide it through with your legs basically straight. And I'm gonna stop in here, otherwise I'll keep going.